Good morning, everyone. We are Group 5, sharing you our learning objectives, and we're going to tackle about the global demography and global migration. Our learning objectives. Number 1 is to discuss the different concepts and topics related to the field of demography and migration. Number 2 is to identify the different types of demographic transition models and different push and pull factors behind migration. Number 3 is to distinguish the different theories of demography and apply each to a globalized world. What is the meaning of global demography? Global demography refers to the study of human populations and the process through which populations change in respect to environment, geography, and climate.
Here the terms population growth, population decline, mortality rate, fertility rate, and demographics. Being banded about, we are bombarded with information telling us that the main demographic concerns of the world are exploding populations for predominantly poor countries and aging populations for wealthy countries. But do we know the meanings of these terms and statements, and do we realize their significance in a globalized world? Demography provides the necessary concepts and basic understanding of issues related to the population, and consequence, it entails for a highly integrated and interconnected world. When you hear demography, what comes to your mind? Demography is the study of a statistic such as births, death, income, or the incidence of disease, which illustrate the changing structure of human populations. Demography studies the following: population size, population growth or decline, population processes, factors related to the population processes, population distribution, population structure, and population characteristics.
Theories on demographic and population growth. Views on population had already been developed in the early history of humanity. According to Confucius, explained that when the population was too small, there were very few to till the land and the taxes were not paid. Anderson recommended that the government should maintain a balance between the population and resources through government-enforced migration of people. The ancient Greeks also had their views on demographics, like Plato argued that the population should not grow or shrink rapidly, as rapid population could lead to social disruption. Aristotle suggests that the population should be limited, and its growth should in fact be moderate if the population is too large, and it could disrupt democratic governance. Mercantilism was an economic doctrine that was popular during the 60th until the 80th century in Europe. Mercantilism was informed by an economic principle influenced by actions of kingdoms. Later, powerful nation-states competing to consolidate colonies to their regional power centers through warfare. From this economic theory came the belief that countries needed to increase their population, they would have enough soldiers and colonists.
Constitutional approaches to population growth refer to Thomas Malthus, an 18th century minister, who maintained that although population grows exponentially, food supply grows linearly. Malthus explained that the poverty results from population growth outstripping the availability of resources, especially food. As population growth rate increased after World War II, by limiting the population, vital resources could be used for economic progress and be the basis for the government on population control. Programs worldwide, for example, the One-Child Policy in China and in the term Philippines, the Republic Act number 10354 on responsible parenthood and health. The single most important factor in population growth is the total fertility rate, or which we call TFR. TFR defines the term for the increased number of children born to women during reproductive years. Fertility limitation is acceptable to slow the growth of the population, and the replacement level fertility rate is the number of the children need to maintain a stable population. The main factors affecting population growth are the birth rate, death rate, and migration. Birth rate defined as the number of annual births per 1,000 people, and the death rate defined as the number of annual deaths per 1,000.
What is global migration? Global migration is considered as one of the most influential factors behind the social, economic, cultural, and even political transformation of societies around the world.
Migration, the movement of people from one place to another with the intention of settling permanently or temporarily in a new location. There are two types of migrations: internal migration and international migration. Internal migration refers to people moving from one area to another within one country, while international migration refers to people crossing borders of one country to another. Example of internal migration: from Bicol to Manila, or transferring from Quezon City to Mandaluyong. Example of international migration: travel from two countries that are proximate to each other. Examples: Sulu, Philippines, and Sabah, Malaysia is considered international migration, whereas travel from Portland to Washington, USA, despite the difference in time zone and distance, may be considered as a form of international migration. In this section, the difference of pull and push factors behind migration shall be discussed. Push factors refers to a different reasons a person leaves his or her place of origin to settle in another, that is called emigration. Often the reason of emigrating is caused by factors inherent in the emigrant's place of origin: conflicts or wars, political or economic instability, persecution of all types, calamities, famine, epidemics, or wide-scale destruction caused by humans or nature are considered some of the major push factors of immigration. Pull factors refer to the reason for moving into or transferring to a place. It's called immigration. Often the reason behind this type of migration is due to a desired condition, goal, or aspiration that can only be attained or present in the place of destination. What pulls people to go to a place may be any of the following: political and economic stability, economic or job opportunities, political asylum, education, and safety from environmental and artificial hazard. Push factors for political migration: there are plenty of cases where migrants are forced or involuntarily migrate from their country of origin to another country to escape violent conflicts or political persecution.
Full factors for political migration may be caused by favorable political conditions in a destination country. Post factors of economic migration. Post factors for migration is poverty, stagnant economic or shortage of basic resources, and high levels of inflation resulting in massive deprivation may cause people to look for countries with abundant resources and economic opportunities. Full factors of economic migration. A more popular example of this is brain drain. In the Philippines, meteorologists are attracted to migrate to countries like Australia because of higher wages, educational packages, and housing privilege given by the Australian government. Cultural post factors. There are individuals who are forced to migrate due to existing cultural practices such as arranged marriage of two ethnically bound individuals living in two different countries. Cultural pull factors. Countries such as Canada and Germany, which have more tolerant policies toward cultural and religious diversity, tend to end among the popular destination countries of migrants. Environmental post factors. Exceptionally destructive and destructive natural calamities such as droughts, which cause rivers, water shortage, and famine caused massive migration. Environmental pull factors. Locations that are not susceptible to the destructive elements of nature such are attraction. Pull factors for environment migrants, benefits and demerits for the sending countries. Remittance benefits make significant contribution to the development of small and medium from industries that help general jobs and also term for the money sent by migrants to their home country.